Good Wednesday evening, February 19th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. Chelan County Commissioners updated the short-term rental code last week, over a year after the county code was opened for updates. The annual My Girlfriend's Closet fundraising event will return to Wenatchee in March with a ticketed pre-sale event. Warmer temperatures are expected over the next several days with wet weather Friday and especially this weekend. Your full local weather forecast is straight ahead. A property owner in Wenatchee's #1 Canyon who's been waging court battles with neighbors in Chelan County over excavation work is now being sued for work he did on different property he owns in South Wenatchee. Joshua and Caitlin Winger sued Tyler Chambers Friday in Chelan County Superior Court, alleging excavation work he did in 2022 on his property at 1816 Christina Lane destabilized an embankment leading down from their property on Duke Street. The suit alleges that in January of 2024, a garden fence on their property collapsed down the embankment and left a concrete pad on their property unsupported and cracked. The Wingers say Chambers had a duty to provide lateral support for the embankment, and the couple seek to recover the cost of damages done as well as attorney fees. Chambers has not yet filed a response. Chambers has been issued stop work orders on a 66-acre property he was excavating in #1 Canyon after complaints from neighbors and county officials that Chambers had filed insufficient wildlife and other mitigation plans for the scope of excavation work he was doing. Chambers was scheduled to appear this afternoon before the Chelan County hearing examiner over his appeal of the county's environmental requirements for the #1 Canyon work. Chelan County Commissioners updated the short-term rental code last week, over a year after the county code was open for updates. According to NCWLIFE media partner, the Wenatchee World, Chelan County enforces a code on the permitting and operation of around 800 short-term rentals. Short-term rentals are homes rented for 30 days or less. The latest changes aim to simplify the code and target points that had come up since the code was originally adopted in 2021. One update says fire marshal inspection should occur every other year after permit approval, but the code recommends operators use a provided checklist to ensure they're up to standard on the off years when inspections don't occur. The former fire chief of Grant County Fire District 4 allegedly forged signatures to steal more than $30,000 to support a gambling addiction. Kevin Whitaker was placed on unpaid leave in November and later left the district in Warden while the Grant County Sheriff's Office investigated financial improprieties. Today, the Sheriff's Office said it was forwarding its findings to the prosecutor's office for multiple potential criminal theft and forgery charges. Detectives reported finding that Whitaker forged signatures of the district secretary and fire commissioners more than 150 times since he was hired in 2022 to access and steal money from the district's accounts. When we come back, Curate, a bean-to-bar chocolate shop, opened quietly on the corner of Wenatchee and Orondo Avenue in November. We'll have more on that coming up. And state wildlife officials say a three-legged deer they spotted during their annual deer surveys in eastern Washington this season appears to be adapting just fine. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Central Washington Water is your solution for problem water. Whether you're on a well or municipal water, they can design a clean water system custom to you. Soft water eliminates water spots and scaling on fixtures. It protects appliances from hard water damage, saving you money. Soft water reduces soap usage that causes skin irritation and is a healthier choice to drink. Call for a free in-home consultation or stop by the store to have your water tested. Central Washington Water, your best water solution for home, pool, and spa.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan?
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
Curate, a bean-to-bar chocolate shop, opened quietly on the corner of Wenatchee and Orondo Avenue in November, but owner Dorrinda Carlson is ready to share her wide array of globally sourced cacao products with the community. NCWLIFE News spoke with Carlson about how, to her, Curate is so much more than chocolate.
Curate was a name I thought of for the business years ago when my husband and I were traveling. And while we were traveling, I would always find something, whether it be a piece of jewelry, whether it be a chocolate bar, whether it be an experience even. But I noticed how I was curating these things that just made me so happy and brought so much joy. And I thought, couldn't I bring that to some space for others? So I've been here since November, and so far, because I haven't had a lot of signage, people maybe haven't seen me or found me, but when they do and they walk in, it is like I could just tear up right now. So my shop offers chocolate from all over the world. The makers are from all over the world. They import the cacao beans, which grow around the equator, so those are imported from all over the world. And then they make their chocolate. So I have folks from, the makers, I'll say, are from Belgium, from Italy, from France, from Canada, from across the United States. And then I have cacao that's in these bars, comes from Fiji, Vietnam, Belize, Nicaragua, Colombia, Mexico, Ecuador, Dominican Republic, Haiti. I do also have, and will be curating more, a line of cocos, line of teas, and I have gianduja, which is a chocolate hazelnut spread. Do you have any dairy-free? And I'm like, oh wow, the majority of my bars are dairy-free. Yes, I do have very diet-friendly chocolates, and even my first 90% bar for those that maybe are looking for less and less sugar. But I do have alternative sugars. So there's maple sugar, coconut blossom sugar, and then date sugar. And then I have a whole line, Mike and Becky, they do solely beet sugar. A lot of people walk in the door asking, what's your favorite? And they're staring at the wall because it is a big wall. It can be overwhelming, but that is why I'm here. I really think of myself as like a chocolate concierge. I'm here to help you find what you would like for your palate. I invite you to come to your senses. And I don't mean that like being, come to your senses. I'm saying, I want you to come to your senses. I want you to smell the chocolate, feel the chocolate, see the chocolate. I want you to taste the chocolate. And perhaps that chocolate brings back a memory. Maybe it's nostalgic for you. Maybe it's something new you didn't even know because you've come in, taken a breath, and you're slowing down, being present with yourself for this experience. And that's what Curate is about. It's about sharing an experience.
The business is temporarily closed as Carlson travels to Colombia to work on a cacao farm, but she will return on March 13th. State wildlife officials say a three-legged deer they spotted during their annual deer surveys in eastern Washington this season appears to be adapting just fine. The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife said a biologist spotted the deer with the missing leg through a scope, and it appeared fully capable of continued survival. Agents sometimes intervene in cases such as when an animal has an arrow embedded in its body or a deer, moose, or elk gets tangled in something. But in this case, the deer was allowed to continue on with its business. Coming up next in tonight's feature story, we will talk to Sasha Sleeman, one of the recipients of this year's Community Impact Award organized by the Wenatchee World. Our weather over the next several days will be wet and warmer. I'll have your full local weather forecast coming up. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
Sasha Sleeman has made housing her mission for years, from her work as an East Wenatchee City Council member to her role as Chelan County's housing coordinator. She's now the director of the Housing Authority that served both the county and the city of Wenatchee, and one of the recipients of this year's Community Impact Award organized by the Wenatchee World. Sasha will receive her award in a ceremony Thursday at the Red Lion Hotel. In tonight's feature story, she told us what drew her into the world of housing advocacy.
Housing is a basic need. You know, we all need a roof over our heads, a place to shower, a place to lay our heads at night. And when I moved home at the end of 2018, early 2019, I had been living in New York, where housing is a huge issue. Very hard to find a place to live that's remotely affordable. You have to live with a lot of people. And I was shocked when I got back, and I couldn't afford an apartment on my own. Whether you're have a fixed income because you're on Social Security, or whether you're working full time, it's hard to make ends meet. And so I started looking at that and kind of paying attention to it, and realized this is something I want to be involved in and really make a dent in. I'm the executive director for the Housing Authority of Chelan County and City of Wenatchee. And in that position, I oversee a team of 33 plus me, so 34 people across 23 properties across both Chelan and Douglas County. We have the Housing Choice Voucher Program, which is colloquially known as the Section 8 voucher program, so rental assistance to landlords to help keep assisted or rent lower for folks. The HUD-VASH program, which is a rental assistance program for veterans, and then the FSS program, which is kind of like a savings account for folks who are on Section 8 programs, and it's a really great way to help people save some of their money that's extra after their rent, and then put that back for them to use later. For as long as I can remember, I've always been interested in politics, policy. I think when you're a teenager, you don't think of it as policy, but my dad is an immigrant from Lebanon, so government is very different there, and so I've always had this interest in this. I, in high school, got the opportunity to shadow Senator Parlett and over in Olympia, and that turned me on to just how policy is made, why it's so important to be involved, why it's important to vote, and showed me that policymaking's quite local. When I was first thinking about what to do, that's where I saw the best ability to help people. Obviously, there are probably better ways to help people, like being an actual social worker or being a doctor or anything else. But on a larger scale, like, people don't love politics, but there's politics in everything. You need policies to change, to be structured, to help better your community. So on a larger scale, I felt like that's kind of what I could do. quite a few goals now that I'm at the Housing Authority, and it's such an amazing agency that does so much. So what can we do going forward to be a better resource for folks? So working on getting started on some strategic planning at the agency, growing as a leader. This is a really big role for me. I've done a fair amount of managing throughout my career, but this is a big one. So learning the job, learning the ins and outs of everything that the Housing Authority does probably is the next big thing.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a fantastic Wednesday. Boy, it was a wet one, especially this morning with snow and then rain and snow mix, and then just all rain in parts of Chelan County and Douglas County today. And outside our weather window, not a whole lot to show you. This is our Lake Wenatchee tower camera. You can just see part of the tree line there, but really socked in with fog and still some shower activity up in the higher elevations. That should slowly dissipate as our evening rolls along and get into our overnight. And then we are going to see some warm and wet weather as we get into Friday and especially this weekend. With all the snow that's around in many parts of our viewing area, we're going to see a major melt go on. So that could cause some water flooding some basements, small streams and rivers. They could reach flood level as well. And make sure you keep those storm drains clear for easy melt into those drains as we get into this warmer weather. It's going to feel good, but it is going to be wet, as I mentioned. We'll get into that in a second. 36, our unofficial high temperature today. That's 7 degrees below where we should be at 43 for this time of year. Beautiful record high, 58 degrees set in 1965. Look at our low this morning, 32 degrees. That's above our normal low of 28, and our record low, 10 degrees set in 1986. We picked up 0.22 of an inch of precipitation out of that rain and snow, and that gets us now to 88 for the year, which is still about 64 behind where we should be for this time of year. Picked up 2 new inches of snowfall, and that now gets us to 27 inches for the year. That goes all the way back to October of last year. Sunrise this morning now before 7 a.m. at 6:58, sunset at 5:31. All right, tomorrow's temperatures for Thursday, they're going to be warmer. 43 Moses Lake and Ephrata, 42 for Quincy, 41 in Wenatchee. We'll hit 40 probably in Eniat, and then upper 30s, Chelan and Omak. The rest of our viewing area, Lake Wenatchee, Leavenworth, and Cashmere, also mild, anywhere from the mid to upper 30s to around 40 in Cashmere tomorrow afternoon. Tonight, we can expect mostly cloudy skies. There's that ridge of high pressure that's up and over us. That'll stay for a couple of days. Seasonal lows tonight. We're expecting temperatures in the upper 20s for overnight lows. Getting into Thursday, mostly cloudy skies, high pressure anchored in central Oregon. That still will provide that ridge over us, but as the system moves in, that'll bring the first waves of clouds on Thursday. Maybe a west breeze tomorrow with high temperatures in the low 40s. Ending our work week on Friday, cloudy skies as our next big storm gets ready to move in. We do have about a 30% chance we could see some rain, possibly some rain mixed with snow on Friday. High temperatures in the upper 30s. And here's where we start getting very wet. Cloudy skies on Saturday. Atmospheric river pointed right at Washington State. And this is what we're looking at Saturday late afternoon. High temperatures in the low 40s. For Sunday, not much change. That atmospheric river still pointed right at the Pacific Northwest. Rain is likely, but we will warm up with highs in the mid to even upper 40s on Sunday. Getting you into Monday, things are really going to warm up. We're going to stay kind of on the wet side, though. Here's our next area of low pressure spinning off the coast. That'll bring clouds our way and that moisture. About a 50% chance of rain on Monday with highs in the upper 40s. And we're even warming up from there as we get you into Tuesday. Mostly cloudy skies. It could be a bit breezy on Tuesday, though, all throughout north central Washington. Maybe a 20% chance of a stray shower or two, but look at that. High temperatures Tuesday, right around 50 degrees. Here's your 7-day forecast now. 29 overnight tonight. Mostly cloudy Thursday, maybe a west breeze, and 41. 38 for your Friday with about a 30% chance of showers. Rain likely then Saturday into Sunday. 42 your high Saturday, warming to 47 on Sunday. Still some more showers in our forecast early next week for Monday and Tuesday, but check out the temperatures. 48 Monday, high temperature on Tuesday, 50 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you. The relatives, friends, and neighbors helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
Happy Wednesday. 3 college basketball games dot the schedule for tonight. On the men's side, Washington State hosts Gonzaga. That's on ESPN2. Later at 7:30, the Washington Huskies host Rutgers. That'll be on the Big Ten Network. Haley Van List's TCU Horned Frogs are back up to number 10 in this week's women's college basketball poll. They're on the road tonight at Arizona State. That's on ESPN+. The Wenatchee Wild have put themselves in quite a bind if they want to reach the WHL playoffs for the second year in a row. Wenatchee entertains Seattle Friday, a team they're chasing for the 8th and final playoff spot in the standings. It's also a team to whom they lost 4-0 last Sunday in the Town Toyota Center. The Wild will travel to Portland Saturday and then host Vancouver Sunday. Austin Andrade dropped by Wake Up Wenatchee Valley Tuesday and agreed with host Dan Coots that the time is now for Wenatchee to win.
The playoff picture will be told a lot by what happens over this weekend. There's no doubt. The games against Portland, the games against Vancouver, those are big win games for the Wild. Even if they go to overtime, a 3-point game is a 3-point game. The chase is right now is not against Portland. The chase right now is not against Vancouver. If they take it to overtime and we still get the win, so be it. But the game against Seattle, that cannot be a 3-point game. The Wild need to get that one coming up on Friday night.
The Wild currently sit in 10th place behind Kamloops and Seattle for the final playoff spot to the Western Conference standings. In the last month, Wenatchee is 2-11 with 7 of those losses being games where the Wild scored first. Andrade says it's a matter of finishing.
It's crunch time for these guys right now. Just being able to hang on to a lead in the third period and pick up those 2 points, that's been a big thing for us here lately. We've gotten close. We've gotten some points out of the recent games, but we haven't gotten the 2 that we're looking for.
The Wild and T-Birds played 2 periods of scoreless hockey Sunday before Seattle exploded for 4 goals. Austin says it's key to get up on the T-Birds early.
It's a Thunderbirds team that you have to put away early. It's a team that has scored fewer goals in the first period than any other team in the Western Hockey League, but they get stronger as the game goes along. You need those shots, you need those opportunities to go early in the game and put them away. But if you let them hang around, they're a team that wins a lot of close ones.
Wenatchee and Seattle dropped the puck at the Town Toyota Center Friday night at 7 o'clock. They'll play Portland Saturday on the road at 6 and then return Sunday for a 4 o'clock game against Vancouver. You want tickets, go to WenatcheeWildHockey.com. You can also listen to Austin's call on 560 KPQ. Eastmont Wildcats proved to be too much for Moses Lake in girls play-in basketball last night. The Wildcats jumped out to a 16-2 lead after the first quarter and never looked back in a 60-31 victory to end the Mavericks season. Grant Olson had the call here on the NCWLIFE channel.
And here we go. Eastmont controls the tip. It's Bella Otterstetter. to Ashlyn McGinnis. She will run the show for the Wildcats. Hands it off to Noli Johnson. Fumbles that one. Picked up by Hines as Eastmont running a bit of a wheel right now. Pilkington left open off the backboard. No good. Rebound, though, to Otterstetter. Little right-handed hook layup, and it's good. And Eastmont on the board first. But we haven't seen that yet tonight. We still might before it's over. Here's Char down low. Nice shot up and in. Gracie Cast. McGinnis, another crossover dribble underneath Pilkington, up and in. Taking tough shots. Free throw line, Pilkington, it's good. To Addison Burns. Clark now is going to take a three, no good. Rebound underneath Abby Gale. Outlet to Ashlyn McGinnis. Nice bounce pass down low. There's Pilkington again, it's good. Hines with her 4th point of the game. Bond now kicks it outside to Throneberry for 3. Good. Now comes left side Bond into the lane. Kicks it back out. There's Bischoff. She puts up the shot for 3. It's good. Otterstetter hands it to Johnson. Once again running a kind of a wheel offense. And Hines all the way to the basket. Good. As we have just under 4 minutes left to go before halftime. McGinnis the steal. Ashlyn all the way down court. Right hand layup. Good. Hands it off McGinnis in the lane. Kicks it out baseline. Otterstetter the open shot. No good. Rebound is run down by Cass. She's double teamed. Loses it. McGinnis up and in. Look what I found for Ashlyn McGinnis. She's got 10. Wanted the shot. Couldn't get it. Now to Char. She gets it down low, and once again a turnover. Noli Johnson. McGinnis the layup. Good. 5 seconds. I'm not sure the Eastmont's aware of the clock. Pilkington has it. She's forced to put one up, and it's good. Just going to hold on to it, and that will do it. Our final score here from Eastmont High School, District 5 play-in game. Eastmont 60, Moses Lake 31.
Grant had a chance to catch up with our player of the game and Coach Joe Barnes after Eastmont's win.
I am joined now by our NCWLIFE channel player of the game, sophomore Lexi Pilkington. And Lexi, fantastic game, 17 points.
Thank you.
You know, it seemed like a focus of your team tonight was defense. You played such great defense against this team. They were forcing passes down low. Was that a focus going into this game?
Yeah, with them, they're a driving team, so we had to be locked in on defense to stop it and to keep the lead.
And Lexi, do you think having that 4-game win streak coming into this play-on game kind of gave you guys some momentum tonight?
Yeah, I think it gave us a lot of confidence, and we played together, so that helped us win too.
So now you're moving on to the district tournament, which begins on Thursday right here at Eastmont. Do you have a preference, Sunnyside or Ike?
I'd rather play Sunnyside, but I don't know. I think that'll be a close game between those two, so we'll see.
Well, you had a fantastic night, unofficially 17 points, and best of luck on Thursday. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
I think you forced them into like 23 turnovers on the night. They forced a lot of balls down low. I think they thought they might have a low game, but it just didn't happen for them tonight.
Well, and they tried early on, and then we put in Giselle, and that matched the height of number 3.
You know, you get such great time from your freshmen, Lehman and Hoven. Got a lot to build on here at Eastmont.
Yeah, they are, and they're so coachable, and they listen to the other girls, and they just want to get better and do the right thing.
So now the big tournament starts on Thursday. You have a home game, which is great for you. I asked Lexi this also. Do you have a preference, Sunnyside or Eisenhower?
No. They're both rolling, and they have a lot of good aspects to them. I think I just heard it's going to be Eisenhower.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, you handled them pretty handily a couple weeks ago. You're hoping for that.
Yeah, it's going to be good, but they're going to be out for revenge, doing that on their senior night.
Eastmont advances to face Eisenhower in the first round of the district tournament Thursday at 6 o'clock after the Cadets ended Sunnyside season last night 43-24. Davis will host West Valley for the championship Thursday night at 6 o'clock. Eastmont boys season came to an end last night in Moses Lake as the Mavericks overwhelmed the Wildcats 81-55 the final. Moses Lake will host Eisenhower after the Cadets knocked off higher seeded Sunnyside 66-58. West Valley hosts Davis for the district championship. That'll be Thursday night at 6 o'clock. Cascade and Chelan face elimination Thursday after both fell in the District 5 1A tournament last night. Kodiaks fell to Wapato 71-37, while the Goats lost at Natchez Valley 65-42. Chelan will host Cascade in a loser-out game Thursday night at 6 o'clock. Wapato plays at Natchez Valley Thursday, with the winner advancing to the state, while the loser goes to a crossover elimination game. Cashmere and Chelan boys took a step closer to the state 1A tournament with wins last night at District. Bulldogs handed Cowan of Benton an 85-63 defeat, while the Goats topped Wapato 70-56. That puts Cashmere at Chelan Thursday at 7:30 for a winner to state, loser to a crossover game. Kybe visits Wapato in a loser-out contest. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Wednesday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at NCWLIFE.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.